boss told me I couldn't take a smoke break if I wasn't smoking. I first started working at 17 as a housekeeper cleaning condos in downtown Toronto. It wasn't a bad gig. The building was under construction, finishing units and such, so there was quite a bit of dust, but other than that it was fairly easy work, and at the time I was getting above minimum wage. I was the only cleaner in the building, but I was good friends with the security guards and would hang out with them on most of my breaks. They were all smokers, and I noticed that they were taking small breaks, so if I happened to be near them when they were taking a smoke break, I would hang out with them. My boss was a sweet guy, but he did casually mention that the smoke breaks for smokers only and I couldn't just hang out with them. Next break I sat down with the security guards and they joked that I should just have a cigarette in my hand but not actually smoke it. That's when I decided to be a little bit creative with my malicious compliance. The next day I came into work with a small pack of sparklers. I kept them in my pocket, and when I saw the security guards taking a smoke break, I went out with them, pulled out a sparkler, lit it up, and just kind of stood there with them as the sparkler went off. We all had a good chuckle about it. The boss saw me and came outside, probably to talk to me about not taking a smoke break if I wasn't a smoker. But he saw the sparkler in my hand. The security guards pointed out that technically I was smoking, as the sparkler was producing little bits of smoke. The boss laughed it off, apologized, and said that as long as I get my work done, I can take smoke breaks with the others, with or without the sparklers. At a company I used to work, non-smokers got an extra hour of pay. The smokers complained, so we lost the pay and they got banned from smoking during work hours. I always thought that if smokers get a 15-minute smoke break, then the rest of us should get a 15-minute break to cry in our cars. Lol, well done. Honestly, this idea that only smokers get smoke breaks is such a silly one. Back when I was in the army, as a non-smoker, I'd go with the smokers every time they took a smoke break. Like, come on. What did they think was gonna get accomplished with about 75% of the staff on break anyway? Luckily, they never did try to micromanage like your boss did. Glad he saw sense in the end. Shining retort right there. You're quite the star. Sure, smoked him with that one. I'll get my coat. At least the boss in this case recognized how stupid that policy was and caved. I've bitched about the smoke break thing before at work, and any time I brought it up, I've never had a boss that didn't begrudgingly agree that if they could go outside and smoke on the clock, I could go for a short walk, grab a cup of coffee, etc. As long as I was back by the time they finished their cigarettes, I was in the clear. Bring your bong to work tomorrow. I worked in a retail store and my manager was a smoker. I'd be elbow deep in organizing something and she'd walk by and tell me we are going for a smoke break. I'm not a smoker and she knew that. But if she was taking a break, she said it's only fair if I get one too. She did this with everyone we worked with. She made working retail bearable. I used to smoke. Then I quit. Then I started realizing how much extra work I was doing so all the smokers could have their breaks. So I stopped working when they would all go out and management got huffy. Lol. Either we all get a break or nobody should. Military forces, a lot of youngsters to start smoking this way at basic training. Around 20 years ago, my employer built a covered area with 2 picnic tables underneath it for the smokers. My coworker had an absolute tantrum, dressed HR up and down, and demanded not that they get rid of the area, but that they also put in an area for non-smokers. Thumbs up, tears of joy, thumbs up. A few months later, at a respectable distance from the smoking area, A non-smoking area that was covered with 2 picnic tables showed up. 2 hearts. In case it's important. This site did not have any outdoor seating areas before this. So the 2 covered areas were the only places to sit outside. My non-smoking employees got air breaks where they got to lounge in the sun for 5 to 10 minutes. I did this with candy cigarettes back in the day. Had something like this happen to me when I was in the military. I didn't smoke, but those who did would take off to smoke, leaving me alone with all their work. So one day I bought a pack of those candy cigarettes. Were they surprised when I started following them out? And there was a big laugh about it. They understood the point. Let's share the workload better. Good times. I used to call them my second-hand smoke breaks. This isn't malicious compliance, this is adorable compliance lol. Sometimes all a boss needs is a little reminder that they're being ridiculous. Glad it all worked out and you got to get a taste of some malicious compliance. I used to do this when I worked restaurants. Got tired of smokers taking a 5-minute break every hour while I held it down, so started rotating in. Lighting a cigarette and just sitting there with it. At my work you can just take breaks whenever you want as long as the work is done. It's a system of trust and respect, and it works out perfectly because our bosses don't treat us like resources. The company is profitable and steadily growing. It's not that hard and perfectly compatible with capitalism. Even from a turbo-capitalist viewpoint, which some of my higher-ups definitely are. They love money. There is really no need for absolute control and suppressive hierarchy. My wife had an employee who had given up smoking years before, but took it back up so she could hang out with the smokers. Idiots all. Love it. I was allowed non-smoking breaks when I worked at McDonald's. I took them sitting in the walk-in cooler to cool off.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Eracast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.